Good morning, subscribers. Welcome to episode 8 of Complex Humans. It's Friday, 9:30 a.m. here in Sydney, March 24, 2017. And my guest for today is all the way from London, where it's still Thursday. How are you, James?
I'm not bad. How are you, Oliver? Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Hello, everyone in Sydney and around the world.
How you doing, man?
I am feeling excellent. Still pumped from this morning. You know, um, normally try to start my days at 5 in the morning, and yeah, just feeling pumped. Even I'm excited to be here speaking to you. What about you?
Yeah, it's so good to connect. It's been a while since I've seen you, and yeah, I miss the good old days where we hang around the Royal Society of the Arts. It's an awesome place to meet people.
It is. It is. You meet so many incredible people doing incredible things, not just with the arts, but in terms of social
Mm.
justice, social cohesion. It's an inspiring place as well.
Yeah, it's like full of people who wants to make the world a better place.
It is.
Amazing.
It is. And that's what the world should be about. One of my greatest, um, uh, one of my greatest things is about leaving a legacy that we can be proud of. And
Yeah, yeah.
there's a song by Beyonce called "Footprints of the Santa Time." I love that song because
Okay.
it's like it talks about I was here. you know, I did my thing. I left my footprints, and that's what we all have to do when with our lives. Muhammad Ali says, "Your price on earth is doing good," something like that. I truly believe in that. What about you? Do you believe in that?
Yeah. Like I think the Silicon Valley version of that code is uh, leave your dent in the universe. So what's the dent in the universe you're gonna do, right? And yeah, for me, it's what's all about. I think I'm very much a believer, or not a believer, and experiencing the evolution, both personal and collective. So we're here to learn and to make things evolve to the next level, be part of the learning. So how are you making your dent in the universe, my dear friend?
Oh yeah. Well, if I'm ever at a networking event and people ask me what do I do, I
Yeah,
tell them I'm changing the world.
so good. That's so good. It's one line, right? What are you
Yeah,
doing?
change the
It's
world.
not
Believe me.
like I do accounting or something like that.
you know. And often they're like, "Well, how do you do that?"
Ah,
and I just say, "Well, by just focusing on social mobility." Um,
yeah.
so I'm not sure if ever people know, but I run a organization called Generation Success.
Mm-hmm.
It was started after the London riots in London in 2011. Um, we saw a lot of burning buildings, a lot of people saying we had a disenfranchised generation.
Mm.
Um, I was like, I don't want to be part of the noise. I want to be part of the difference, which I want to see. Um, so Generation Success is that difference. Is we remove well, we are an inspiring network that advances social mobility for
Mm.
all people with diversity, and we do that by removing barriers and connecting business to all people with diversity, um, to enable people to achieve their career aspirations.
Mm.
And we do that through talks, through nurturing talent, mentoring, and for
Mm-hmm.
encouraging companies to create more fairer recruitment practices.
Mm.
And our long-term aspirations is to be a recruitment company that actually enables diverse talent um, to get into organizations. Um, and it was really interesting yesterday, not the terrorist attack, but yesterday there was a report
Mm.
that said black graduates are twice as likely to be unemployed after universities compared to white graduates. And when we talk about changing the world, it's like if you want a generation of aspirational young people,
Yeah.
we need to be able to one show them people who look like them who are at the top of industry, but two
Ah,
actually say yeah, and two actually um, say to them your dreams and your aspirations are possible,
yeah.
and you have a equal playing field when it comes to going after that. So yeah, you know. So that's the dent I want to live in the world. Creating equal access.
I
Um,
love it. I love it.
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
like the way that inequality is such a big issue in the world nowadays, and I like your approach because I've seen a lot of approach where it's fighting against the system, protests.
Uh,
That's important, but I like your approach that instead of trying to destroy the system, you're trying to work within it and to make, you know what I mean? It's like a different approach.
it is indeed. And um, when I was younger, I made a pledge that I would not worry about things which are outside of my control. And
Yeah.
we society, a lot of people um, get disheartened and they focus on things which are outside of their control. You
Yeah.
know, they focus on the storm, on the rain. Like you can't change that, but what you
Yeah.
can, what you can change is the clothes you wear. What you can change is whether you go outside or not.
Yeah.
And it's the same approach to this. You know, I'm not a Rockefeller. I'm not Bill Gates. Um, but what I have been able to do and show as is as one individual, you can actually get corporates involved. You can actually get people of influence involved who
Yeah.
share your thinking to make a difference. Yeah. So
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And when we talk
I
about
just attended the talk last night, and one of the speakers, he told this story, and it stayed with me, and which relates to what you're saying. Well, the story was there was this big storm, and because
yeah,
of this a storm near the ocean, so because of the storm, like thousands and thousands of starfishes were washed ashore, and then this guy was picking up a starfish and throwing it back to the ocean, and then another
wow,
guy goes, "Hang on, stop! What are you doing? There's so many of them. It's impossible. You can't possibly put them all back. It's not making a difference." And then the guy says, picks up another starfish and says, "Well, it makes a difference to this starfish," and he threw it back. So it's
amazing. I
like,
love
yeah,
that
you know what
story.
I mean? Yeah,
I love that story. I'm
yeah,
gonna have to use that to my next talk.
yeah. Go for it, man. And this is how we spread the good memes. It's not just memes are not just about funny cat videos. You can have memes that can change people's lives.
So true. It's so true. You know, perfect. And also talk about conversations.
Yeah,
A conversation I had yesterday was kind of related to this. About doing what you can to make a difference.
yeah.
Basically, I had a meeting with a massive law firm in
Mhm.
the UK, in the world, one of their managing directors. And what I loved about our conversation was the fact that she said 20% of the time I know if I make a hiring decision,
Yeah.
um, I might fail, or if I make any decision, I might fail 20% of the time. And she goes, being lawyers, my other partners are um, risk adverse. And
Yeah.
she said that one thing that really caught my attention, and she goes, for me, it's important that I own my failures. If I make a decision, I know 20% of the time it's going to be failure, but I own it, and
Yeah.
by owning it, and
What's that? What was it?
and
Owning
that's
it?
important.
What?
By owning my failures, I take ownership of it, rather
Yeah.
than it taking ownership of me, you know.
Awesome.
And she was like, yeah, and she was like, I don't delegate my failures to anyone else. They're mine,
Yeah.
so I can change. I was
That's
like, me
good.
and you need to talk more.
So yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
It
know.
reminds me of I have a good friend of mine, Nicole Dado, and she talks about when we think of a lot of people work on themselves, right? It's a huge industry now of people working on themselves, trying to get better. And like many people, when I was doing this for me, I thought this is where I am, and I want to change. So I want to be there. So I have to leave this behind and to be a better person, a different person. But Nicole said, no, you bring everything. So you're talking
Mm,
about, so it's not like I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna leave my background, my failures, my. No, you bring it all with you. Bring everything, even the most embarrassing moments. You bring it with you when you move. It's not like
oh
you're
yeah,
trying to get out of your life and invent a new life. You bring the thing with you. It's like, yeah, you're going back to evolution again. Like Mother Nature doesn't start from scratch. It just builds on from like we still have like old genes from ancient fish, in our genetic code. So she just builds on
Yeah.
what's successful in the past. So, which is like generation success. You're building on past successes, right?
Definitely. We are indeed. And what I love about what you just said is, um, you do bring everything with you, and all your experiences are part of your journey of who you need to become to get to where you want to get to. And yeah, so you're so on point. I totally agree with you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. Is it alright if I pull up your website so we could show people?
Yeah, sure.
And while I do that, maybe you could, just to make it more personal, maybe, or more specific. Maybe you could just give us an example of one thing that really, one kind of success that you've seen through your organization.
Yeah, definitely. Well, one there's been so many stories over the years of amazing successes. What I loved was the fact that over the last 2 years, people have raised over £500,000 for their business ideas or their projects.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
it may not be directly through generation success, but is by having that confidence go out and make it happen. They've done it. And was it last year we were able to
Mm-hmm.
bring two people to share their story. And one girl became CEO of a company called Fitzy,
Uh-huh. Wow.
and yeah, and she's well, yeah, yeah, and she told her story of how 3 months earlier, or 4 months earlier, she'd lost her job. Um, she used to work for a estate agent, and something happened. They had a dispute, and she lost her job.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 months after that, her grandmother died.
Shit. Okay.
And yeah, and she had just joined Fitz. She had joined Fitzy, and they were trying to make Fitz. They were trying to get investment for Fitzy to make it work.
Mm.
And you know, it got to like a few weeks before she was going to run out of everything. No money to pay the rent. All her savings were gone. She's on the lowest ebb. And
Mm.
one of her team, um, Lee, called her and said, "Look, because they went to America, tried to get funding, didn't get any funding." And Lee goes, "Look, what was it? I think it's can't remember the name of the company. Techno
Mm-hmm.
Gym, Techno Gym are having a accelerator to go to Italy, and let's go for that competition." And he won it,
Mm-hmm.
and they managed to get a six-figure investment for the app. And it was like 3 weeks before she's going to run out of everything, and
Wow.
ended up in Italy, got an investment, moved the whole team to Italy.
Wow. That's not a bad way to do it.
And speak at Twitter, where we did our last year's technology special, Women in Tech. And it
Uh-huh.
was a proud moment for me because it was like, here's one of the community who has, you know, who through a failure of getting sacked,
Yeah.
um, who saw aspiration of starting their own tech company, made it
Yeah.
happen. And that was despite having almost no money, and that was
Yeah.
despite going through the pain of her loss of a nan. Um,
Wow.
and one of the most important things of that story was the fact that she had the right people around her. Um, People who encouraged her, said, "Let's go out. Let's just, I know right now there's a cloud over your head, and you feel that there is no escape and there's no hope, but let's just take
Yeah.
this one last shot. Let's just go for it." Um, and it paid off. And that's why we feel um, so passionate about Gen Success.
Yeah.
It's not only connecting people to um, opportunities of helping them build a network. Um, it's the fact that the most important thing is the network is the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Um, I talk very much about creating an where that supports your success,
Mm.
or creating a toolbox that supports your success. And part of that is the people you surround yourself with. Oliver, you are an incredible person. The
Mm.
dream you have of changing the world, you can do it. Just take
Mm.
the jump.
Yeah.
you know, you know, yeah. So So that's that's one of that's a success story. And
Awesome.
another one, yeah, another one is on CV. She mentored another woman, and she connected another lady to a job. And I didn't find out about this until I spoke to her. I was like, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say her name, but but I was like, well, I was like, Ursula, yeah. I was like, Ursula, how's it going? How did you find it? Very, you know, I and she told me, and it was what's incredible is the fact that she did it out of her own accord. All of our business leaders who speak for us, they do it because they
Yeah.
care about making a difference, about opening the door, and they will mentor someone or connect people to their networks without even being asked from us because they
Yeah.
want to. Yeah. I can ramble forever. So sometimes you need to stop me. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I think that's really amazing because I remember reading this book uh, a while ago. It's called The Wealth of Networks, and it's by Yochai Benkler, and he talks about the you know it's a play on Adam Smith's book, The Wealth of Nations, where Adam Smith being maybe unfairly regarded as the father of capitalism and being blamed for a lot of but actually he talked more than about capitalism. He also wrote another book called Theory of Moral Sentiment. So he wasn't just about capitalism. But anyway, Yochai Benkler in his book Wealth of Networks talks about how, like in our time, the real wealth is in the networks, is in the connection between the people. And sometimes people make the false dichotomy of government. It's either government or big corporation, right?
Yeah.
Like either healthcare is free and it's funded by the government, or it's privatized. But they forget this is not the only choices we have. We
True.
have small businesses. We have us, peer
Hmm.
to peer, people to people. And I love London. London is doing a bit of that. Like you've from what I've heard, you've allowed like peer-to-peer investing so that I can invest as a person with another small startup instead of I have to go through a bank. I have to go through, you know, it's kind of weird thing that we sort of I've seen it. We sort of trust corporations more than we trust the person next door to us. It's kind of weird that we've come to that point in time that we need these artificial entities to create trust between us where the strongest trust is the people we see. Like I've seen people like invest in companies that are in the stock exchange, which they know nothing about the business. They know nothing about who runs these things, but they won't invest in someone they know is struggling to start a business. That's someone you know, and you know if they're good or not. But you'd rather invest in an unknown entity, really. It's because you see
Crazy.
the advertising, but it doesn't really show what's happening behind the company.
Not at all. Not at all. And there's nothing to say that. Um, yeah, not at all. And what I love about what you just said there is it interlinks as one of my pet peeves, or one of my, I don't know, something that gets me, like, gets my fire burning.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
is the fact that a lot of people, like I said, will trust corporations, or will trust governments, or will
yeah,
say, why, they'll moan about loads of stuff, and
yeah,
they'll be like, the government should be doing this,
yeah,
or corporations should be doing more.
yeah,
And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, we are very lucky. We live in a generation where, we've had the civil rights movements, we've had the suffragettes,
yeah,
um, we've had uh, amazing um, movements in society,
yeah.
where before, communities would have a leader like Martin Luther King, but
Hmm.
they fought hard that each of us could be leaders in our own right.
Yeah,
And and the moment that we say the government should be doing this, or corporation should be doing that, we give up the leadership. We give up the what has been fought, what people have fought
Wow.
hard
Yeah.
for, you know, and the fact that like now we have technology that enables us to do, you know, if you want to start a business, you can do it. If you want to lend to individuals, you can do it.
Yeah.
Um, People aren't taking some of the freedoms that we now have and we take for granted. You know, I'm just like, yeah, you are a leader. Make it all right, make it happen. Um, yeah, and also the other part that frustrates me is the fact, like you said, people are more likely to go and buy a Beyonce album than, you know, go and support one of their best friends who's playing a
Yeah.
concert. You know, it's crazy. It is crazy. Um, but I guess it's the way I call it. We have been socially conditioned um,
Yeah.
to do these things. You know, as a child, you grow up and the adverts you see, or the
Mm.
places you go, adverts you see of Nike, or of Unilever products, or McDonald's,
Yeah.
and um, we are socially conditioned to um, to recognize big corporations, and when you grow up as adults, you know, they just they are um, normality for you,
Yeah.
as all these new peer-to-peer lending models are new, so people perceive them as being more risky.
Yeah.
Um, Whereas peer-to-peer lending, a lot of them pay bigger returns than, you
Yeah.
know, traditional models. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm so glad that people like us are changing this thing or trying to move it forward, like what we're doing now. Like in the old days, I would have to ask a media company, please, this is a concept for my show. I just talk to people randomly and unplanned, and you have to go through a lot of gatekeepers, and you have to ask permission. But now we're so lucky that we can just do this, put it out there, and if people like it, it will it will
It will blow up.
go viral.
It will blow up.
Yeah,
Yes,
if
that's what I'm
not,
talking about.
it's there, and then we had
Yeah.
fun, and then we didn't need permission to do this. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So people listening out there, if you want something that the government or the big corporations aren't giving you, then instead of waiting for them, you could start it, right? We
Make it
live in such a
happen.
lucky time that the tools of making things happen is getting cheaper and cheaper exponentially. It's just crazy.
Oh yeah. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Just make it happen. Just go out there, you know. And that's the thing. We are no longer 5 years old, or if you're not, you know, if you're over 16 or over 20, you don't need to ask permission anymore, you know. And and so just make it happen. And one of the people I love the most are the ones who, um, even if they work for a big corporate
Yeah,
um, or at studying university, for example,
yeah.
and the ones I love the most are the ones who see something that needs to be changed and we just do it. They'll do it and ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah,
You know, and in
yeah,
a way, that's how we started as Gen Success.
yeah,
I remember I went to the careers. We started at university, and
yeah,
back in 2011, and I went to the careers office. I said, "Look, um, I have this amazing idea
yeah,
that will enable our students to learn new skills, develop professional networks, and do good at the same time, showing that we are not a lost generation."
yeah.
And the careers officer said, "Look, let's look at your CV, and that what you're trying to do sounds." And you know, and the most annoying thing is, I thought my CV was great because
Yeah.
before I had gone back to uni, I was head of cash land. Well, I was business development executive for a business I had helped grow from 50 people to 250 people within 4 years, and over a
Wow.
thousand part-time temporary staff. And you know, like I was like, I headed up the cash land division. I helped us grow to North Island. You know, I'm here sitting in front of you because I want to change something. He said, no, forget about that. Just, you know, like if I was you, just focus on your career. And I was like, but and then I went to, and there was no students union at the time, so there was no student body to support you in starting a society. So I
Mm,
remember just being so angry, and I went to pro bono because I was at law school, and I was like, pro bono, we've got no student society, so you're the nearest thing to a body that would help me start up a social a body for social good. And they were like,
mm.
no, we can't help you. like computer says no. And I was like, ah,
Computer says no. I love
computer says
that.
no. So, you know, and I thank those guys for saying no,
Mm,
because by them saying no, it forced me to dig deep. It forced me to just make it happen. And you know, the anger that they created. I
mm,
talk about um, the London riots. When I turned on the TV, I saw burning buildings. But each no, and that those burning buildings and each no actually lit a fire even deeper in me. I was like,
mm,
you may not, like if you are not going to help me make a difference or change this, I'm going to do it and just stay out my way. And yeah, we made it happen. So
awesome. Well done.
yeah, so you know, but I hope a lot of I hope people watching this will, if there's something that stirs them, that lights a fire within them, I hope they will just take a step. And it does not have to be a big step. It could
Mm,
just be a small step. You know, if you care about the homeless, you can volunteer at a homeless charity. If you want to start your own business, you can um, read books or go to seminars on how to, you can read a 4 hour work week, or you can find a role model who's doing something that you want to do, and actually try to learn from them. You can register your business tomorrow, create a domain name. you know
mm.
by taking small steps, they lead you closer to the end point. you know so don't ask for permission, just make it happen.
Awesome. Start with that one starfish. I
Yes.
think that's good. I think that's a good point to end this episode. And any last words, James, before we end this?
Yeah. Well, uh, from a person who believes that your career should not be defined by your birth, I,
Yeah.
I say to everyone, no matter where you are now, you can control where you end up. So take today and make it happen. Your career, your future, your aspirations are in your hand. You have the keys and the driving seat to make it happen. So just do it.
Amen, brother. Amen. So good. Thank you for listening. I hope you got inspired by James and his success, and hopefully you get yeah, as you said, if you have that fire in you, just start it. Just do it. And thank you for watching. And then if you like this, and if you think other people would benefit from watching this, please share, comment, and then if you found this video by accident or by serendipity, please go to the YouTube channel and subscribe so that you can see future episodes. And I hope to bring James back maybe in another episode and we can check in. Yeah.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
All right, man. Thank you, James,
All
and
right.
have a good. Oh, it's night there, nighttime there in London. Have a
Get in
good
bed soon.
sleep.
You too.
Happy
Have a
Friday
great day. Have a
tomorrow.
great day. Bye, guys.
See you, man.
Okay, buddy. Thank you.